I told my wife to stop trying to fix the neighborhood kids. My wife Nina has this thing where she sees a kid having a rough time and immediately thinks she can solve their whole life. It started small, giving snacks to kids walking home from school, letting them use our bathroom if they needed it. Normal neighbor stuff, you know? But then it escalated. She started inviting random kids inside for homework help, buying them school supplies, even doing their laundry sometimes. I kept telling her this was getting weird, but she'd just say, these kids need someone who cares. The breaking point came last month with this 13-year-old named Bryce who lives 3 houses down. Kid's got it rough. His mom works 2 jobs and his dad's never around. Nina started having him over every day after school, making him dinner, helping with homework, the whole 9 yards. I came home one Tuesday and found her in our spare bedroom setting up a desk and putting up posters. What's all this? I asked. She gets this excited look and goes, I'm making Bryce a study space. He can't concentrate at home with all the noise. That's when I lost it. Nina, you can't just adopt every sad kid in the neighborhood. This is crossing a line. She got defensive, saying I didn't understand what these kids were going through, that we had the means to help, so we should. The next day I'm working from home and I hear the front door open. It's Bryce, just walking into our house like he lives here. He grabs a soda from our fridge and heads upstairs to his room. Didn't even acknowledge I was there. I waited for Nina to get home and told her this had to stop. The kid's treating our house like his personal hangout. His mom probably doesn't even know where he is half the time. Nina said I was being heartless, that Bryce needed stability. Things got really messy when Bryce's mom Kelly showed up at our door around dinner time looking for her son. She seemed confused about why he was at our house so much. Nina starts explaining how she's been helping Bryce with school and giving him a quiet place to study. Kelly's face went from confused to angry real quick. Excuse me? You think my house isn't good enough for my own kid? Nina tries to backtrack, saying that's not what she meant, but the damage was done. Turns out Bryce had been lying to his mom, saying he was at the library or friends' houses. Kelly had no idea he was basically living at our place half the time. She was furious that we'd been feeding her kid and doing his homework without even talking to her first. You made me look like a neglectful parent, Kelly said. My son's been coming home talking about how much better things are at your house, how you actually care about his grades. Nina looked like she'd been slapped. The worst part was when Kelly asked Bryce why he'd been lying about where he was. The kid, right there in front of all of us, goes, because Nina actually listens to me and doesn't yell all the time like you do. Kelly just stared at her son, then at us, then back at Bryce. Get your stuff. We're going home, and you're not coming back here. She looked at Nina and said, maybe focus on your own family instead of trying to steal other people's kids. After they left, Nina broke down crying. She kept saying she was just trying to help, that she thought she was doing the right thing. I felt bad for her, but I also felt vindicated. I'd been telling her for months that this would blow up. The next few days were awful. Bryce kept trying to come over, but I had to tell him he couldn't anymore. The kid looked crushed. Nina barely spoke to me, acting like I was the villain for not backing her up. Then it got worse. Other parents in the neighborhood started talking. Apparently word spread about what happened with Kelly, and now some of them were questioning whether Nina had been overstepping with their kids too. Mrs. Johnson from 2 doors down came by to ask if Nina had been buying her daughter Megan clothes, because Megan had come home with a new backpack she claimed Nina gave her. Turns out Nina had been quietly helping like 6 different kids in ways their parents didn't know about. She'd been buying them stuff, giving them money for lunch, even taking them shopping sometimes, all with good intentions, but without talking to their parents first. Nina finally admitted she'd gotten carried away. She said seeing these kids struggle reminded her of her own childhood, and she just wanted to give them what she never had. But she realized she'd been undermining their parents and making the kids feel like their own homes weren't good enough. She wrote apology letters to all the families and stopped the whole thing completely. No more inviting random kids inside, no more buying them stuff, nothing. Our relationship with the neighbors is still awkward, but at least she gets it now.